Hey YouTube, how you doing? Your boy Under back here with another tutorial. Now today we're gonna be going over making a first-person shooter game using only the arms, no full body, nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything. Let me just turn on my screencast key for you guys so you can see what I'm pressing at all times. So now you'll be able to see what I'm pressing right there. So every action I do, if I shift A, mesh and plane, you will see at plane. So for now I'm gonna go ahead and file and I'm gonna import a FBX. I'll put a link in the description so you can go and download this. Just remember to give the guy credits for when you use his assets. So I got this by my characters, and it's on DjMason. And I'm just gonna import this. Now before I do that, there's something with the armature you should know. Some of these things are made with Maya, and when it's made with Maya, the bone orientation will not work correctly. So we should say pause connect the child, automatic bone orientation, and just import. So when you do that, you will see we've got some arms there with the armature already applied. Now I'm gonna take this and move it to the side. I just want to show you what happens when I do that again. File, import, a lot of day. Oh well, actually FBX. Now instead of fixing the armature like I did before, I'm just gonna import it as is. You will see this monstrosity. Okay, so just delete that and just Alt G with this. These I don't need them because they're empties, and I think they work for the IK with the armature, but we don't need these, so we can go ahead and delete them. Okay, so now this is what we're gonna be looking at when we're playing our game. Somewhere around there. Looks pretty cool, but when I go into shader view and shift A and I make a light and I make a sun lamp, you will see we don't have any textures on this. So to fix that, this is what we do first. Just change your timeline to shader editor, and you will see we've got all of these textures that are not working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete everything here, X delete, and I'm gonna Control, Shift, and T to do a principal setup. And then I'm gonna go back into where I was last, this FBX. I'm gonna go up and go to textures. So if everything is renamed correctly, I should be able to do a principal setup of this. And there we go. I got some cool looking first person hands, arms. Haha. But for some reason I don't have a bump map. So let's just do that manually by going and just shift A and texture, image texture, and then spacebar and search bump. Not bump, a vector bump. So again, we want this to be part of the UV, so I'm going to connect the UV up to the vector, and I'm going to connect the color to the height. And then I'm going to connect the normal to the normal. Now it's going to go white like this, but I don't have any bump on it just yet, so I'm going to open up that texture. So it would be by textures, and it would be this one. So open image. Now you're gonna see something like this. It looks pretty bad, but we're gonna fix that in a moment. Now I'm gonna search for a normal map, just like that. And again, I'm gonna plug in the color of this, and I'm gonna plug it into the normal. And now we can play with the strength and the height. So strength comes down a little bit. And distance we can bring down just a little bit, not too much. Just until you get something that looks pretty much realistic. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. Cool. Okay, so next we are going to need to check the armature to see if everything worked correctly. So I'm just gonna set this back to the timeline, move it down. And now I'm gonna go to my armature, look for viewport display, and tick in front. Now sometimes there are too many bones. You want 1, 2, and 3 bones, not 4. So I'm gonna have to tab into edit mode with these. And just delete all of these bones right there. Everything on the tips we do not need. We do not need these bones. So X and delete bones. Now we got everything pretty much lined up. I'm not sure what this bone is for. Let's have a look. Okay, that's what they are for. So these two are currently to that. So now I want to look at the orientation of the bones. As you can see, it's gonna rotate completely wrong. That's not how they're supposed to be rotating, but I want global, I want normal, local. So now they should be showing they're going to be rotating on the local x-axis, but sometimes, let's try all of them to curl them up. Just to see, as you can see, this ring finger isn't really rotating properly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap into edit mode, make sure this is enabled. This bone is rotating correctly. So I'm gonna select all of these and Control N and active bone. Now I think I got it the wrong way around. So Control D. So that's the active bone. I want this to be the active bone. Control N and active bone. And then tab. Let's have a look. It looks a little better. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do that with basically all of these bones. So now the roll should be set correctly. I will see they will all rotate on the global X. Well, the local X. Now I didn't do that for the thumb because the thumb, I think, works properly. Yeah, it looks like it works proper. Yep. Alt R. Alt G. Make sure we got everything just lined up. Now, this is where the cup is going to be. I want to make sure the roll of this is also set. I want to make sure it's rotating correctly. And for some reason, I feel it doesn't. Yeah, it's good. I'm not going to struggle with that. This one looks good. And this one looks good. So that means everything on this side should be fixed as well because we had the... Oh, I didn't have it on. Okay. My bad. So let's just have a look at these. So let's just try and rotate these and see. See if we're getting some clipping. I can already see there's a little bit of a problem. So I'm going to tap into edit mode. Just turn off the X mirror for now. And I'm going to select this bone. That would be my active bone. So I'm going to do this. Select everything, select everything, select everything. and not the thumb. I think the thumb should be good. Then select just something on the pinky and Control N and active bone. So for some reason it's going on the X, no, on the Y. No, now it's gonna rotate from the X. Why is it rotating on the X? Because this is the, well, on the Z. It's not supposed to be rotating on the Z, it's supposed to be rotating on the X. So let's try that again. Let's try this. Control N and active bone. There we go. Now it should be rotating properly. Okay, so now it's for the IK. We need IK on this armature to make it work properly. But this bone is not in the right place. As you can see, it's not really lined up properly. So I'm just gonna start lining this up a little bit so that it will make a proper IK bone. Something like that should work. Now I'm not saying this guy made a bad armature. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying this is an awesome armature. I just want to fix it and let's try normal. Yep. So I just want to make work so that my IK bones don't mess around. Okay, so before I do that, I'm gonna go Shift A mesh and make a plane, move it to the side, and just rename this as, I think it's gonna be F3 for some of you guys, but I have to do it like this. So I'm gonna rename this as and IK shape. So now I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna scale it down first. Scale it in, Control R, make 3 loop cuts like this, make 3 loop cuts like that. Let's move in. So I'm just gonna make a nice shape for this now. Something like that works, and I'm gonna select everything and X faces only faces, just like that. Then I'm gonna select the inner edges just like this. You can also do circle selection just like that by pressing C on your keyboard. So now I missed one. So everything on the inside I want to delete. So X and edges just like that. Then I'm gonna go into vertex selection. I'm gonna hit A and E and then just right click and then S and hold in my shift button and scale it up a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. So now we got something like that. Now if you try to... okay, I'm just going to show you what I mean. So if I tab into edit mode and I start making my IK bone, I'm going to Shift D with this bone. I'm going to snap it back into place. I'm going to Alt P and clear the parents. I think you should know how to do this by now if you looked at my rigging tutorials. So I'm going to go to item and I'm going to play with the length a little bit so I can distinguish it from the rest of the hand. So now I know this is my IK bone. And then I'm going to give it a custom shape. And you will see what I mean by that. The orientation of, well, the origin of the shape is not correct. So I'm going to go into my bone tab. Go Control Tab and make sure this bone is selected. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the viewport display with the armature, well actually with the bone. We don't want it to be a deformed bone. And actually this one as well. It doesn't change according, so... where the fuck are the deform? Just turn off the deform for both of these. I'm gonna start with this bone. So... here by the, where was it, the viewport display of this bone, viewport display, and you will see there's custom shapes. I've got this hand IK shape, and when I do that, you will see it's very small for 1, and for 2, I'm just gonna go scale bone. Okay, let's just bring up the scale first, so you can actually see what I'm doing. what I mean about the orientation is not correct. Now, I'm gonna have to move this manually, you know, the location, the transition. I can do it from here, but have a quick look at what happens when I do this. So if I control tab and I go back into this, and I move this up a little bit, now you'll see it moved like that. Okay, so it's wrong. I'm gonna move it back somewhere around there. Should be good. I'm just gonna select these and X vertices, the tab, and there you go. So now it's positioned properly, because the origin of your bone is always here by this thing. So as you can see, that's what I meant by trying to line this up properly before you do anything else. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to make a few extra bone shapes for the actually I want to get this one in as well. And also, oh, that was what I was going to explain. So just put this back at 1, so it goes. I'm not going to scale. I want to scale to bone, and I want that. Control tab. I want to scale this up, so I'm going to hit S and Control A and scale. Then you're going to see it's going to change right there. So tab A again, scale it up, tab Control N, Control S, Control A and scale again, just till we get something that works. And now it looks good. And then you can just tab into edit mode. Well, actually Shift S goes to select it. Actually, I actually need to do this. Bring it forward just a little bit. Okay, Shift S gets it selected. Hit A, and then just go ahead and turn this into 3D cursor. Then I'm just going to scale it back down. And you will see it messed around with that. So what we can do is we can go into this armature and you will still be able to change the bone shapes and stuff. So there's something that says scale with bone, and it doesn't fucking work. Okay. Okay. Let's just try and bring this up. Okay, I'm just gonna make it like that. Okay, cool. Now that's something I forgot are these, so I'm gonna have to edit it again and just make sure I'm deleting these edges. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just select this loop, well, no. And Control I, just so I have these edges. Then I'm gonna X and edges. Then I got something like that. Looks good. So now I've got this IK bone. I have to rename this as hand IK. This bone, I'm gonna have to rename this. Okay, so all the way up. And wrist. Just take away the dot, make a space, and just call it IK. Just like that. You're gonna have to do exactly the same for the other side, so before I forget, I'm just gonna do this. The reason I do that is because I can still move these around. When I go into edit mode, they will still be the same. So now I'm gonna have to do the same with this thing to make my custom bone shape. So I can just do that now, and it's properly aligned. So it's aligned with this, not with the fingers. Don't worry about that. The fingers just have blends in them. Okay, so now it's for the pole targets. And remember, I still have my normal enabled. I'm going to go maiden point. And I'm going to press E. And I'm just going to drag it out. And as you can see, it's going in a different direction. So that's what you want. And then I'm going to hit Alt P. Clear parent, and I'm just gonna move this down a bit. So it will always be moving on the normal of the bone. So you can get the orientation correct. And for this, we need to call this arm left fold. I did that wrong. So what I can do is I can just copy this. Just remember to get in that space you got there. Control C. Control V. So when I save and clear it mode, I should be able to move this together. So now I'm gonna need a shape for this. So shift A mesh, and let's just make let's use the UV sphere. I'm gonna bring the subdivisions down to 16 and 8. You can always do this. You can always use ×2. It will go back to 32. You can go backslash and 2, and it will divide that. So that's what you want to do. Okay, anyway. So now I've got these. I want to get these selected. Only these. Back to that 2 open spots now. Then I'm gonna press Control I on my keyboard, and it's supposed to do it like that. So now we got this. So I just want to go ahead and just X and delete these spaces. Now I got this weird shape we got here, so just gonna scale it down. And I'm gonna rename this as full shape. Then tab into Control Tab into your pose mode, and custom shape. I'm gonna go full shape. Now you'll see the orientation is not correct, but I'm just gonna keep it like that for now because I want to get this one in as well. So full shape. No, not hand shape, full shape, just like that. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I actually want to see the rotation and the scales and everything, but I don't want to scale it to the bone. I want a wireframe, and don't scale it to the bone. Wireframe, don't scale to the bone. Then we can do the scale of these, maybe to 5. Yeah, 5 would be good. Now we need to get the rotations correct. So the way we do this is play with the rotation like that, somewhere like that. So before I turn on the wireframe for this, I just want to see the rotations on this. 1, 1, 1. So let's try and get this rotated correctly now. Ah, there we go. So this is going to be the X and the Y. There we go. Something like that should be good. So now I'm gonna have to copy this, Control C, go to that side, and Control Shift B. Oh, just take away this. I'm supposed to do that, but I'm not doing it. Control C and Control V. Just take away the negative, and it should be rotated correctly now, just like that. Now I can go ahead and I can turn on wireframe for this. So we got these. So these are going to be the pole angles I'm going to be working with. So next what I want to do is I want to do the IK now. So I'm going to select this button, I'm going to select this one, Control Shift C, in the kinematics, and give it a chain length of 2. And give it a pole angle, armature, and then fold. Arm left fold. So this is the left arm, so you will see it snaps to the incorrect side, so we can always just move it back and see we have to rotate this 180. Something like that. Now I'm gonna do the same with this. Control Shift C, Inverse Kinematics. And then I'm gonna give it a pull for the armature and pull dot R. So it looks like this one is actually correct. Oh, and I did not do the pinning. So it looks like the pull angle on this one is completely correct. But for some reason why is this one following that one? This is just weird. What? Let's turn this off real quickly. For some reason these are following along. They're not supposed to be doing that. Why are you doing that? Okay, so I have to see what the hell is going on here. I'll try to delete these bones real quickly. Shift D and just bring up the length. Alt C, clear parents. They're not supposed to run together. Why in the fucking hell? They're like a modifier on this. Let's have a quick look. There cannot be modifiers on this. That's not supposed to happen. Okay, I'm just gonna pause the video until I figure out what the hell is going on here, because this is not supposed to happen. It's something with the armature that's not working correctly. Okay, so I figured it out. Just turn off the X mirror. I don't know why the hell the X mirror is working inside of pose mode, but that's just fucking wrong. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the IK again. Control Shift C, Inverse Kinematics, and go to the bone, give it a chain length of 2, armature, and pull, and this would be the right arm, so pull right arm. Looks like it's good. Yep. Now select the wrist bone, I'll select this bone and select the wrist bone, Control Shift C, and copy rotation. Select this bone, Control C, copy rotation. Then select this bone, Control Shift C, copy rotation. Now I just want it to rotate on one axis. Now for some reason I can't see my gimbal. Or Y. Okay, so that would be on the Y axis. So just bring back the IK, put it to 0.2 maybe, and then take away the Z and X. So when I rotate this, it will only rotate when I rotate this on the Y. It's just gonna give it a little bit more realism to the armature. So I do the same with this one, Control Shift C, copy rotation, only on the Y, and give it a 0.2. Press it out, there we go. So I'm gonna go into static view so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when I press Y and I rotate, you will see something like that happen. But when I rotate it on the local Z, it won't rotate at all. Cool. So next is the fingers. I'm gonna do one finger and I'm gonna pause the video until I'm done with the rest of the fingers. I don't wanna have you wait too long. So if you don't know how to do this, you select one finger, select the next finger, Control Shift C, copy rotation, select this finger, Control Shift C, copy rotation. Go back to this finger, and when we see the copy rotation, turn it to local space, and replace after original. Do the same with this finger. Yeah, you can just do after original straight away, and local space and local space. Then you should be able to RX. Then the finger will curl up just like that. You can't see what I'm talking about? RX. Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna finish with these, and then I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, just quickly, there's a disclaimer. Do not do it with these two. Don't do it. Select this button and select this button only, because the thumb can do a lot more than your other finger. Control Shift C and copy rotation. So I'm only going to be doing it on this button right there. So let's face and after original. So I did this finger right now, so what I mean is you can move the thumb like that, but you can still rotate from that. Look at your thumb and, you know, try to move your thumb around. Look at where it will rotate from. How will it rotate? So I'm gonna pause the video again. I'm gonna be doing this fingers now, and then I'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, so I got one more finger to do, so I'm just gonna do that real quickly so you can see one more time. So copy rotation. Select this one, Control Shift C, copy rotation. Local space. I'm holding in my mouse button just by the way. What the fuck happened there? Local space. That was weird. Okay, that's not copy rotation. This one, Control Shift C. Oh, copy rotation. That was my bad. So copy local space, after original. I'm holding in my mouse button, by the way. And there we go. And then it's just for the thumb. And again, only this bone and this bone. Control Shift C, copy rotation. I'm gonna straight after original and local space and local space. And there we go. So now we got properly rigged hands and arms. So you can also go ahead and just make it rotate on the y-axis. So when I do this, you will see it only stays on that side. So I'm gonna be doing that with all of these. I only want them to rotate on the X. Now I would usually say, you know, do the one side of the armature, delete the one side, do the one side of the armature and symmetrize it, but for this armature I don't think it's going to work that nicely, because then we're going to have to reparent the whole armature to the mesh. So there we go. Now they will only be rotating on the x-axis. But this one I can rotate on all axes. There's a reason for that. Because that's what this bone is there for. Okay. So I can still rotate these like I want. And it will. Oh, I didn't do this one apparently, so I'm not supposed to be able to rotate this on the X, but okay. So when I rotate this, it will still curl up, but when I rotate this, it will not copy the X rotation. So if you want to get get a little bit more control over the bone, you can also go to the bone tab and just take away the ability for it to rotate on the other axis. So you can do it like this. Look the rotation and just lock these two. So only have that gimbal to rotate it from. So again, I'm just going to be doing that right now, so exactly the same process. So let's just check them out. They should be good. Let's do this side real quick. So I just want to lock it on the X. Why does this one look so weird? I think I didn't do this one. Still on world space, local space, after original. So I can Alt R as much as I want, it won't work. So now I can press G and it will still rotate on that axis. We'll do the pinky and then I'm done. There we go. So now we got properly animatable arms. Now we need weapons. Now I'm just going to show you where I'm getting all of this from. These arms are from DjMason. It's making pretty awesome models for us, so we can download them. I'm just gonna go ahead and just close this down so you can see DjMason. This is where I got the arms from Sketchfab. So the model is awesome. I love it. Apparently I don't have that proper detail on mine, but yeah. Okay, so my weapons also I got from this site, so I'm gonna put the credits down below in the comment box, not the comment box, the description. So always make sure to give the guy credit for the models you are using. So there are a couple of awesome models down here, most of them from DjMason. You know, these arms. This DjMason. Now there's someone else. That's an awesome fucking model. So again, DjMason with a heavy pistol. That's a Desert Eagle. This guy is freaking awesome. So you can see that's where I'm getting my stuff from. Okay, so next I'm gonna be importing a weapon. So control tab out of this. And tab. Shift, well, file, import. And just shift C. File, import, and it's FBX. All of these are FBX, and I got these at weapons. I have assets for everything, so this would be my weapons assets. So first I want my Colt. I'm gonna go to source and I'm going to import my Colt. Well, not my Colt, this guy's Colt. Just move it to the side. Whoa. Level. So let's have a look. So first of all, I'm gonna have to select all of these. Alt P, clear parent, and keep the information, just for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna look at, I think one of these don't have a magazine with bullets inside, so let's have a look. Yeah, that one, I think. This one does not have a magazine inside, so well, a magazine with bullets inside as well. The reason I'm looking for something with bullets inside of it is because, you know, doing a reload, you have to hide the bullets and put the bullets back in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna Shift S, goes into selected. Shift S, the bullets are separate from you, I see. Oh my lord. And this one as well. Yep. Okay. So let's just turn this Control J. And I want this in the gun. So if I do Alt R with this, you will see it rotates completely wrong. Especially with this, Alt R, you will see it rotates wrong. So I'm not going to be using this. I'm going to delete this Colt with this magazine. And then I'm going to go ahead and just rotate these together. Or X. Well, first of all, Control A and in rotation, just so the rotation is a bit more proper to work with. So first I'm gonna go to side view and have a quick look. Okay, Control 1, Control 3. Good fucking lord. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to move these to a separate layer. Not the light, only these. So these are a collection, you can see. So I'm gonna just call this arms. So I'm gonna right click and make a new collection. I think it's gonna make it inside of the arms collection. It's not. Just like this. New collection. There we go. And guns. So I always want separate collections for everything. So now everything I added in is going to be in that collection and I don't want it. So again, new collection. And I'm gonna rename this as custom bone shapes. And it's like that. And these, I'm gonna move that to the custom bone shape. Move. Press M on your keyboard. I think I hit these. So just press M on your keyboard and move it to the custom bone shapes. Then you can just turn that off. And I think that one didn't go along. So move custom bone shapes and turn it off. I can turn off that whole collection if I wanted to, and it won't do anything to affect that. So I'm gonna have to box select these, vehicle select, and just move these to guns. So now I can go ahead and hide my armature. For now I don't want them. So I can look at these. Just press dot on my keyboard, and there you can see I've got this weird rotation. So I'm trying to line it up a little bit. Control A and rotation. So now it should be properly rotated. Now I'm gonna hide this gun and look at this. As you can see, I don't have any bullets inside of this, and I want these bullets to be inside of that. Now I'm just trying to line these up a little bit so that they match. Then go to front view, try to line these up again. Come on. I think that matches, so Control A and rotation. Take this one, just X delete. So I'm also going to be deleting a few of these as well. I'm gonna keep one, only one. There's a reason for that. So I'm gonna delete these, delete that, and Alt H. And I want to see if this magazine actually lines up. So it does not line up, so that's because the gun isn't orientated correctly on this axis. So go to top view and then just rotate this until it's rotated correctly. Control A and rotation. So the magazine, I can't really move this up and down without the armature, so that's going to be an issue. So I'm going to set him to edit mode, hit A twice, just turn on normal, make sure you're on normal, and have a look at this. You can see this is not orientated correctly. So what I can do is I can try and rotate this normal by going into the transform, and I'm gonna look for the delta transform. So that's not what I'm looking for. Oh man. W origin geometry. Crap. Okay, so let's just try and line this up manually. Okay, I feel that's good enough. I'm gonna just join this up, Control J. Oh shit, I didn't have to do that. But it's alright. Okay, now I'm gonna need my materials on this. I don't have any materials. So like the first time, we need to go ahead and just look at the shader editor. And you will see it's got a... Man, it only has 2 materials for some reason. And that's the bump map. I'm just gonna delete that. That's weird. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, Control Shift T. And I'm gonna go to the source where I was lost. I'm gonna go up and I go to textures. So this is the Colt textures. So we got the bullet, we got the magazine, and we got the so I think it's only these. Principal setup. let's have a look. Now, there we go. That looks pretty nice. Now for this bullet, also only has one, so Control-Shift-T, and this one had a bullet. And why does this rattle? Okay, anyway. So custom egg. Where's the rest of the bullet? That's the rest of the bullet. So I'm just gonna do a principal setup for those. And it should now look pretty awesome. Okay, and the next thing I'm gonna need is the mag. Again, just delete these. Control-Shift-T. I don't know where this is coming from, but okay. So the mag, and M11 mag. Little setup. And no matching images found. Oh, good lord. Control-T. Just move this to the side, so I'm gonna have to do this manually. So this would be the Colt Mag TGA. So if you want to see it, you can also just go ahead and just press A, select the magazine, select, and P selection. So you can just hide this, so we can see the magazine. So I'm gonna need a few things happening here. I'm gonna need the specular. So I'm gonna start by opening these images. So the first one I'm gonna need is a Colt Mag TGA. The second one I'm gonna need is a Colt Mag. I don't know why there's two of these. Oh, this is the. Okay, don't worry about that. And I guess I'm gonna need one more. 50. That's gonna be the normal. Okay, so first I'm gonna have to connect these up. So there's a Colt map, the TGA. So I think this will be the specular, if I'm not mistaken. The next one is going to be the roughness, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, the metallic. I think I had that wrong. Come on. Let's try the metallic right there and see how it works. So I think this one is going to be the. Let's just have a look. There's the Colt Mag. Okay, that's going to be the specular tint, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's the normal. So what we're gonna need with the normal is a normal map. No, don't do that. Motherfucker. Copy. How do I do the frame again? I can't remember how to do the frame. Shift F. Nope. Nope. Now I'm just fucking around. So I can remember how to do the frame, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, but also I'm gonna need to hook these up. on, you mother... I don't know why there's a recompile the shader when I'm just hooking these up. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and go Shift A and search for a bump and Shift A and normal map. So I'm gonna hook up the normal map to the height, well, to the normal. This I'm gonna hook up to the normal and the height, so map. Just like that. Then I'm gonna plug the normal into the normal. There we go. So Alt H. Now I'm gonna select this again and click this, Control J, because I want them one object. Now this, I'm just gonna rotate this on the X or X. Well, it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna go to my logic editor. Well, actually my timeline first. And then I'm gonna make some shape keys. So I'm gonna make 1, 2, maybe 3 shape keys for this. So the basis of the shape key you're always gonna be editing from. Don't edit from these when you're done. Well, when you think, okay, you still need to edit something in your model and you have shape keys enabled, you're not gonna be able to fix that. And I think I had that shape key from this. So this is gonna be the basis. This is gonna be the recoil, and this is going to be the let's say I'm just gonna start with this one first. So Control L. Oh, and this is going to be the reload. Okay, there's something with this model I want to show you. That's what I forgot to fix on this model. Now I've got shape key. If I edit any shape key except for the base, it's gonna fuck it up, so don't do it. I'm gonna hide this, and as you can see, for Alt H, hit A twice and search for tries to quads. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hide this, because there's gonna be a few vertices I won't be able to select on this thing. So go to front view, or side view, go to wireframe mode and box selection, and I just want these alone. Then I'm just gonna move them back, just like that. So it should be around there somewhere. There was another one I had. Actually, I have the fucking old things like that. I just want the vertices. It is only the vertices, okay. So this would be with the magazine and the what do you call it, something. So this thing has a bit of an issue. So tab back into edit mode, Alt H. Now this thing also actually I'm gonna select that vertex right there in the center of this. Control plus a few times. I don't think I want that much, so I'm gonna hit P and selection. And then select this thing and just bring it back. Control J. Now Control plus. Now I'm just showing you how to fix these, so I'm gonna delete those spaces. I want that whole loop. There we go. Go to side view, go to wireframe view. There's gonna be about there. So what I mean by that, now I'm gonna do the shape key for this. This is gonna be the first shape key, and that would be the recoil. I'm just gonna move it back a little bit. And I think I selected the wrong thing there. I didn't. Just about there. Yep, that would be good. Okay, and then also when I do this, when I save into edit mode, you will see when I bring the value up, it will now do the recoil. So save into edit mode. And now I've got this hammer. So Control L. And I want it to rotate from about, let's say here. Now the hammer, I'm not gonna fix that, so just turn it to 3D cursor and go to rotation and rotate it. And it's not rotating properly, so I'm just gonna go ahead and rotate on the global. Just like that. And tap back. There you go. So I made a mistake here, so I'm gonna have to go to my basis and just select this and go to top view, bring it back, make sure I'm in that. That looks good. There we go. One weapon to rule them all. Now I can bring the arms back, and it's going to bring the lamp back as well. I'm going to need to move these to the side. And then scale it up. Oh, and it's still on the main point, please. Scale it up. And I think that's gonna be too big. Somewhere around there should be fine. Control A and scale. And let's just bring this back to where it's supposed to be. Just like that. So I didn't do the reload just yet because I am going to do armature so that I can control the weapon width. Excuse me. So the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna go to this armature, tab into edit mode, and just do this. Shift S because it is selected, and Shift A. And now I want to rotate this on the 3D cursor by 90 degrees, so RX 90. Go back into maiden point, scale it down, bring it to where the gun is. Doesn't really matter what size this is, it's just so we can have empty groups parents to the gun. So I want to rotate this because I can see it's not rotated correctly, and also I need to put it in the center. The gun isn't in the center. Somewhere around there should be fine. Yep. But now I don't want it right there, I need it somewhere around there. So I'm gonna bring this back. And then I'm gonna type into edit mode with this, and I'm just gonna move this forward a little bit. Now this is also going to be apparent to this, so not connected, control B and keep offset. Just like that, so that the weapon actually rotates with that. Okay. I think this is properly aligned. Yep. Okay, so this is going to be gun bone. Bone, okay. So I'm gonna go to side view, and I'm gonna duplicate this bone. Shift D, and again, just move it down a little bit. I want to rotate this, or X 90. Move it to where the magazine starts. And then I'm just gonna do this. So as you can see, I can now move it up and down like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna parent this, do this, Control P and keep offset. Now for the gun. Now I'm gonna parent the gun, Control P. Come on, No, I just went into the game. Control P with empty groups, just like that. So now when I try to move this around, you will see nothing is going to happen. So when I go into edit mode with this, and I start selecting some of these vertices right here, there's the flight. I'm gonna press Control I, and I don't want the magazine, so I'm actually gonna do this, Control L. This is the main body of the weapon. Okay, cool. Just making sure I've got the whole body of the weapon selected. I think it's gonna be easier when I do it like this. Control L, 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 L. So I'm just pressing L on my keyboard, and I see it's not registering, so I need to turn my screencast keys off and on again for some fucking reason. There we go. Okay, just make sure I got everything. Seems like I've got everything. So Control I. There we go. So everything here is going to be in that vertex group. So now I'm gonna have to go and look for gunbone, and I think it's gonna be at the very top. If not, why in the fucking hell isn't it there? I could have sworn I renamed these. Sorry about that. Okay, so you have to type into edit mode for this, otherwise it's never gonna work. So this is going to be the gunbone. I'm gonna search for my gunbone. I've got the mag bone. And if you find the bone you want to assign it to, you just press assign. Now this will be always assigned to that. Now this is going to be... actually I had to assign everything to this. My bad, except for the mag. So I'm just gonna select this. Select this. Select this. Everything on the inside. Just make sure I got everything, and this is going to be assigned to the gun bone as well, because I'm going to use shape keys for the recoil. Okay, cool. Okay, tab out of edit mode, and actually just select gun bone, select, and hide that. And you can see I had the fucking mag selected as well. I'm just gonna remove that from the gun bone, and I'm gonna assign it to the mag bone. So when I do this and I bring the mag out, you will see it's gonna come out. When I move this around, the whole gun should move around. If it doesn't, you can see these are no longer just assign that to the gun bone, and it should be fine right now. Cool. Now we've got an armature for the gun bone, we've got an armature for the mag, we've got a shape key for the gun, and now just to animate that. But now it's lining these up. So I'm gonna RY, and with this one, RY. Now because it's a right-handed weapon, this is going to be moved to the side a bit. So when you look at it from a camera's perspective, you're gonna see something like this. Something like this. I said something like this. So now I need to move this into place. I'm just gonna move this off a bit. That looks somewhat alright. Maybe a bit more forward. Okay, so the gun is a little too big. It looks a little too big. That looks a little better. Okay, RZZ. Rotate this out of the way. Actually, this one, not that one. Alt R. RZ. Something like that. I'm gonna first select these, RC. For some reason this one won't fucking rotate. And I know why that is, because I did not do this. Level space. And after reading mode. Guess the gun is a little too big. Or the end isn't lined up with it. Okay, and things that end should be good, so I'm just gonna box select everything on this side and just hide it. Now to this end. Easy. And now we just line this up. Just like that, and I think it should be good. I'll wait. And high diameter, and then let's just have a quick look at how that turns out. How does that look, guys? Now, when you got everything parented, this is where we're gonna start playing around a little bit. I don't know why I don't get that nice shine for this, but I'm gonna fix that later on. Now I wanna animate it. Alt 8, Control Tab. Now, if you look at armature like this, you're gonna have one straight arm and one bent arm. The bent arm is usually if you hold your hands closer to what this is. The straight arm will always be, well, not the completely straight arm, but it will always be the right arm. Something like that. This one will have the bend in it. And it will go down like that. So sometimes it doesn't work like you want it to, so you can always just do a little bit of a bend and just move this down. So Control Tab, hide. Now you should see something. Now you can see the arms as well. And I think you will be looking at the character from this view anyway. So now let's start doing the recoil animations. Let me just see how long this video has been going on. Okay, this is a pretty long video, so let's get it on. So first of all, I need constraints on these. These are gonna get constraints, so I'm gonna do this. Control Shift C and just make a child off constraint of that because I want that to move with that. That's gonna get a child off constraint of this. Control Shift C and child off, because this is going to be the magazine mode. So I'm gonna have that hand move around with that. So everything should now be able to be animated with that. So first of all, I'm gonna do like a recoil animation, like a, what do you call it? A firing animation. So first I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go and change this to wire or maybe stick. No, wire is better. So now I can animate a little bit easier. So I'm gonna press I to insert a keyframe. Just make sure keying is set to location and rotation. I'm gonna go into my dope sheet, make sure it's on the action editor, and I'm gonna make it a new action. I'm gonna call this fire. So insert that keyframe and let's bring it up to about 5 keyframes. So it's gonna go back a little bit. Actually no. Oh, and also just to make sure I got this timeline, I want this on. So 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna go on 4 frames. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna rotate it up a little bit just for a recoil, and I'm gonna bring it back down. Control Tab, go into edit mode for this, and let's just do this and give it a keyframe. Insert 1, 2, 3. Insert and insert. So also what I need to do is I'm gonna make sure this is on 60 frames per second. I can see it's going on a lot less, so so I'm gonna change my frame rate to and I need to turn on my bloom as well. I'm gonna need that. We can turn on this, but I'm not gonna do that. And frame rate, was it around here? Oh, there we go, 60 frames per second. Okay. But it looks like it's going slow because you just saw that. And that's going on 40 frames a second. So now we can go ahead and we can just bring this up a little bit. And with this shade, yeah, that's the shade key for this as well. Just go all, bring it up a little bit. Okay, cool. So now we got a firing animation. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna go ahead and go to my action editor if it's gonna allow me to. It's talking with me. That's it. My action editor, fire. I'm gonna push down on that animation. For this, there's this armature action. Why does it have armor action? So now I'm gonna go to my non-linear actions, and I can see I've got a shape key here, and this is gonna be shape fire. Push down on that animation and you got shape fire. So we're gonna use these while making the rest of the well, let's just get on. Now I'm gonna need a reload animation, and that's not gonna be easy. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go to my dope sheet. I'm gonna make a new, well, actually I'm not gonna need a new shape key for this. I'm gonna need a new action here, and that's gonna be reload. And I'm gonna start the control tab. Now, first of all, I'm gonna do this. This hand bone I'm not gonna be using. Alright. I'm gonna need this hand bone, I'm gonna need this bone. And also I'm gonna be needing bone on the inside right here, and I think I'm not gonna be able to see that. I'm gonna make it stick. So these are the few bones I'm gonna be using. So first with the animation, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it what? Okay, so now I think this animation is gonna go about 100 frames. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at the view of the camera, where the camera would be. So I want it to rotate a bit to the side, rotate it a little bit up. Not too much, just a little bit. And this end is gonna come down. That might be a little too fast. Okay, so now I just need to have one more part of this animation, and that would be this guy, the reload. So I'm gonna start it at 0, insert that value, insert that value at 125. Actually, just delete this. I actually made a mistake of this. Come on, you mother... It just went to the... Where? I'm almost at 60 frames per second, so this is not correct. Okay, cool. Now I need these shape keys. And for some reason I cannot see them. Okay, so now we got some animations for the character. On the next tutorial we are going to parenting this to the camera. Which I'm actually going to add right now. Okay. That's 20. Great, and there's the camera. And go into the camera. I'll need to get it still correct. And also the focal length of the camera. 3065. 32 or 35. No. 32, let's try 32 and see what we got there. I think 32 should be fine. So, now we got everything going. I'm just gonna push on this animation. Not really necessary to put down just yet, but in the next tutorial we are going to be making this again. So thanks for watching, guys. If you learned something from this, give it a like. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. If you have any questions, please free to give me some comments down below, and I will answer to you like the last guy that said he didn't understand what was going on, but thanks anyway, that was just wrong. I try to explain curves and array functions, and how you can use that to make a terrain from. That's why I don't understand how you cannot understand that, but okay. Okay, in the next tutorial we're going to be parenting this, and we're going to be adding an assault rifle as well, and I'm going to show you how you can change your armature according to the weapon, so you can change the animations as well. So again, thanks for watching guys, and give it a like and subscribe, and have a nice day guys. And please share this video, even if it's just with one friend, please. I'm trying to get the channel to grow, and as always I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I've got 25 subscribers, and yeah, thanks for that guys, and thanks for that. I really appreciate it. But just watching the video and not liking it, the YouTube algorithm doesn't really pick that up, and they don't give me the rewards or whatever. They really don't pick it up. They only pick up the viewing hours, and that's it. So please, just share it with one friend and give the video a like. I'm begging you. So have a nice day, and see you in the next one.